Electrical metallic tubing, or IMT, is an acceptable conduit for concealing electrical conductors. It must be installed according to the requirements of National Electrical Code Article 358. EMT must be grounded and supported securely. Apartment panels must be rated for 100 amps or higher. They must be installed in accordance with National Electrical Code Article 408. The panel board must be accessible and located within reach of the apartment occupants. Branch circuits are the smaller circuits that supply individual appliances or lighting fixtures. They must be installed in accordance with National Electrical Code Article 210. Branch circuits must be protected by circuit breakers or fuses. Wiremold is a surface-mounted raceway that can be used to conceal electrical conductors. It must be installed according to the manufacturer's instructions. Wiremold must be supported securely and protected from damage. Local building codes may have additional requirements that must be followed. It is always a good idea to consult with the electrical inspector in your town to ensure that your plans meet the code requirements and any local regulations. The National Electrical Code, or NEC, provides guidelines for the installation of electrical systems in buildings. When dealing with electrical installations, especially in multi-unit dwellings like apartment buildings, several key considerations come into play. Firstly, the choice of wiring methods must align with the National Electrical Code and any local amendments. The electrical metallic tubing, or IMT, is a common choice for concealing conductors. It's a lightweight steel conduit that offers good protection for wiring. Remember that EMT installations must adhere to NEC Article 350A, which details proper support, grounding, and bending radius requirements. Securely fastening the EMT to the building structure is crucial to prevent movement or damage to the conduit and its conductors. Grounding ensures a safe path for fault currents, minimizing the risk of electrical shock. Secondly, apartment panels serve as the distribution points for electrical power within each unit. The NEC mandates that these panels be rated appropriately for the anticipated load. In this instance, each apartment panel is specified to be rated for 100 amps or higher. The installation must comply with NEC Article 408, which covers panel board construction, overcurrent protection, and accessibility. The panel board's location is also important. It should be readily accessible to the apartment occupants for maintenance and troubleshooting, but not in hazardous locations like bathrooms or closets with limited ventilation. Thirdly, branch circuits extend from the apartment panel to supply power to individual outlets, lighting fixtures, and appliances. NEC Article 210 governs branch circuit installations, specifying requirements for conductor sizing, overcurrent protection, and allowable voltage drop. Each branch circuit must have adequate ampacity to handle the intended load without overheating. Overcurrent protection, such as circuit breakers or fuses, safeguards the wiring and connected equipment from damage due to short circuits or overloads. Finally, wiremold, a surface-mounted raceway, provides a convenient way to extend circuits without embedding wiring within the walls. This can be particularly useful in retrofit situations or where concealing wires is impractical. Wiremold installations must follow the manufacturer's instructions to ensure proper support, secure connections, and protection from physical damage. Local code requirements often supplement the NEC, addressing specific regional or municipal concerns. These local amendments may impose stricter standards or clarify ambiguities in the NEC. Therefore, consulting with the local building inspector is essential to ensure compliance with all applicable regulations. The inspector can review the proposed plans, identify potential code violations, and offer guidance on achieving a safe and code-compliant installation. Failing to obtain necessary permits or ignoring local code requirements can result in costly rework, delays, and potential safety hazards. Furthermore, engaging with the inspector early in the planning process can prevent misunderstandings and streamline the approval process. In summary, wiring an apartment building involves careful consideration of the NEC, local codes, and manufacturer's instructions. EMT provides a robust conduit system, while appropriately sized apartment panels distribute power to individual units. Branch circuits deliver power to outlets and appliances, and wiremold offers a flexible solution for surface wiring. Collaboration with a local building inspector is crucial to ensure a safe and code-compliant electrical installation. Remember that electrical work is inherently dangerous and should only be performed by qualified and licensed electricians. Improper wiring can lead to electrical shock, fire hazards, and property damage. Always prioritize safety and adhere to the applicable codes and standards. Let's elaborate on the key aspects of electrical installations in apartment buildings, emphasizing the importance of code compliance and safety. The National Electrical Code serves as the cornerstone for safe electrical practices in the United States. It's a comprehensive set of guidelines designed to minimize the risk of electrical hazards. However, the NEC is not a static document. It's revised and updated every 3 years to reflect advancements in technology, address emerging safety concerns, and incorporate lessons learned from past incidents. Therefore, it's crucial for electricians and building professionals to stay abreast of the latest edition of the NEC and any local amendments. When choosing wiring methods for an apartment building, several factors come into play, including cost, durability, ease of installation, and aesthetic considerations. EMT, with its relatively low cost and ease of installation, is a popular choice for many applications. However, other options, such as rigid metal conduit or flexible metal conduit, may be more appropriate in certain situations. Rigid metal conduit offers superior protection against physical damage and corrosion, making it ideal for areas exposed to harsh environments. Flexible metal conduit, on the other hand, provides greater flexibility and can be used in tight spaces or where vibration is a concern. Regardless of the wiring method chosen, it's essential to follow the manufacturer's instructions and the NEC requirements for support, grounding, and termination. Improperly installed wiring can create potential hazards, such as loose connections, exposed conductors, and inadequate grounding. These hazards can lead to electrical shock, fire, and equipment damage. Apartment panels play a critical role in distributing electrical power within each unit. The size and configuration of the panel must be carefully selected to accommodate the anticipated load. Overloading a panel can lead to overheating, nuisance tripping of circuit breakers, and even a fire. The NEC specifies the minimum capacity requirements for service entrances and feeders based on the calculated load. It's important to perform a thorough load calculation to determine the appropriate size of the panel. In addition to the ampacity rating, the panel board must also have sufficient space for circuit breakers to accommodate all the branch circuits needed in the apartment. The NEC requires that panel boards be readily accessible and not obstructed by furniture or other items. This ensures that occupants can quickly access the panel in case of an emergency, such as a fire or electrical shock. Branch circuits are the workhorses of the electrical system, supplying power to individual outlets, lighting fixtures, and appliances. The NEC specifies the maximum number of outlets allowed on a single branch circuit to prevent overloading. The type of wiring used for branch circuits must be appropriate for the application. Non-metallic sheet cable, commonly known as Romex, is a popular choice for residential wiring. However, it's not permitted in all types of construction or in certain hazardous locations. Conduit wiring, using EMT or other types of conduit, offers greater protection against physical damage and is often required in commercial and industrial buildings. Ground fault circuit interrupters, or GFCIs, are essential safety devices that protect against electrical shock. The NEC requires GFCIs in all wet locations, such as bathrooms, kitchens, and outdoor areas. GFCIs constantly monitor the current flowing through a circuit and trip if they detect a leakage current that could indicate a shock hazard. Arc fault circuit interrupters, or RFCIs, are another important safety device that protect against electrical fires. RFCIs detect dangerous arcing conditions that can occur in damaged or deteriorated wiring. When an arc fault is detected, the RFCI trips the circuit breaker, preventing a fire from starting. Wiremold offers a versatile solution for extending circuits without disturbing the existing walls or ceilings. It's particularly useful in situations where surface wiring is preferred or where concealing wires is impractical. Wiremold is available in a variety of sizes and configurations to accommodate different wiring needs. It must be properly supported and securely fastened to the wall or ceiling. The NEC and the manufacturer's instructions provide detailed guidance on the proper installation of wiremold. Local codes often impose additional requirements beyond those specified in the NEC. These local amendments may address specific regional or municipal concerns such as seismic activity, extreme weather conditions, or unique building characteristics. It's essential to consult with the local building inspector to ensure compliance with all applicable codes and regulations. The building inspector is responsible for enforcing the electrical code and ensuring that electrical installations are safe and code compliant. They can review the proposed plans, conduct inspections, and issue permits. Engaging with the building inspector early in the planning process can help prevent misunderstandings and streamline the approval process. Electrical work is inherently dangerous and should only be performed by qualified and licensed electricians. Improper wiring can lead to electrical shock, fire hazards, and property damage. Always prioritize safety and adhere to the applicable codes and standards. A licensed electrician has the knowledge, skills, and experience to perform electrical work safely and correctly. They are also familiar with the NEC and local codes. Hiring a licensed electrician is an investment in safety and can help prevent costly mistakes and potential hazards. Remember to obtain all necessary permits before starting any electrical work. Permits are required for most electrical installations and alterations. The permit process ensures that the work is inspected and approved by the local building department. Working without a permit can result in fines, delays, and potential safety hazards. In conclusion, wiring an apartment building is a complex undertaking that requires careful planning, attention to detail, and strict adherence to the NEC, local codes, and manufacturer's instructions. By following these guidelines and working with qualified professionals, you can ensure a safe and code-compliant electrical installation. Let us further delineate the specific National Electrical Code articles that govern the components and methods discussed, providing more granular detail for a comprehensive understanding. National Electrical Code Article 358, as previously mentioned, is entirely dedicated to electrical metallic tubing, or EMT. This article covers the permitted uses of EMT, installation requirements, and specifications for fittings and supports. Key aspects of Article 358 include restrictions on using EMT in certain corrosive environments, mandates for proper grounding to ensure a low impedance fault path, and guidelines for the number of bends allowed in a run of EMT to prevent wire damage during pulling. The article also details the spacing requirements for supports, ensuring the EMT is securely fastened to the building structure. National Electrical Code Article 408 focuses on switchboards, switchgear, and panel boards. This article is critical for ensuring the safe and reliable distribution of electrical power within the apartment building. It covers topics such as overcurrent protection, grounding, and working clearances around electrical equipment. Article 408 stipulates the requirements for the interrupting rating of circuit breakers, ensuring they can safely interrupt fault currents without causing damage to the equipment or creating a hazard. The article also details the requirements for labeling panel boards, making it easy to identify the circuits they serve. National Electrical Code Article 210 provides the requirements for branch circuits, which are the circuits that extend from the panel board to supply power to individual outlets, lighting fixtures, and appliances. This article covers topics such as conductor sizing, overcurrent protection, and the number of outlets permitted on a single circuit. Article 210 specifies the minimum ampacity requirements for branch circuits based on the type of load they serve. For example, a general-purpose branch circuit serving receptacles must have a minimum ampacity of 15 amps. The article also requires that branch circuits be protected by circuit breakers or fuses with an appropriate interrupting rating. In addition to these key articles, several other National Electrical Code articles may be relevant to the electrical installation in the apartment building. These include National Electrical Code Article 250, which covers grounding and bonding, National Electrical Code Article 300, which covers wiring methods, and National Electrical Code Article 310, which covers conductors for general wiring. National Electrical Code Article 250 is essential for ensuring a safe and effective grounding system. This article covers topics such as grounding electrode systems, equipment grounding conductors, and bonding of metal parts. A properly designed and installed grounding system provides a lower impedance path for fault currents, minimizing the risk of electrical shock. National Electrical Code Article 300 provides general requirements for wiring methods, including installation requirements, protection against physical damage, and restrictions on the use of certain wiring methods in specific locations. This article emphasizes the importance of protecting conductors from physical damage, such as abrasion, impact, and exposure to moisture. It also specifies the requirements for supporting and securing wiring methods to the building structure. National Electrical Code Article 310 provides detailed information on conductors for general wiring, including ampacity ratings, insulation types, and installation requirements. This article is critical for selecting the appropriate conductors for each circuit in the electrical system. It specifies the ampacity ratings for different conductor sizes and insulation types based on the ambient temperature and the number of conductors in a raceway or cable. The NEC also includes numerous tables that provide guidance on conductor sizing and overcurrent protection. For example, National Electrical Code Table 310.15b16 provides the allowable ampacities of insulated conductors rated up to 2000 volts, 60 degrees Celsius through 90 degrees Celsius in free air. This table is essential for determining the appropriate conductor size for a given load. In addition to the National Electrical Code, other standards and regulations may also be relevant to the electrical installation in the apartment building. These include standards from organizations such as the National Fire Protection Association, or NFPA, the Institute of Electrical and Electronics Engineers, or IEE, and Underwriters Laboratories, or AL. These standards provide detailed requirements for specific types of electrical equipment and installations. It's essential to consult with qualified professionals, such as licensed electricians and electrical engineers, to ensure compliance with all applicable codes, standards, and regulations. These professionals have the knowledge, skills, and experience to design and install safe and reliable electrical systems. They can also help navigate the complex regulatory landscape and obtain the necessary permits and approvals. In conclusion, the electrical installation in an apartment building is a complex undertaking that requires a thorough understanding of the National Electrical Code, local codes, and other applicable standards and regulations. By following these guidelines and working with qualified professionals, you can ensure a safe and code-compliant electrical system that meets the needs of the building occupants.